Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Rare Coins 1 Penny 2015 Coins, where today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2015 1 penny coin, a small yet historically rich piece of currency that carries with it centuries of background context, design, evolution, minting techniques, and global significance. We begin by setting the stage with the broader history of the penny coin, which traces its roots back over 1,000 years to medieval England, when silver pennies were first introduced under the reign of King Offa of Mercia. During the 8th century, these coins were the backbone of the early English monetary system, and through the centuries the penny evolved from silver to copper to bronze, and eventually to copper-plated steel, reflecting the changing economic realities and metal supplies of each era. As we fast forward through history, we witness key moments such as the reign of Queen Victoria, when the British penny featured her portrait in a young bust that became iconic across the empire, followed by changes in design under successive monarchs such as Edward VII, George V, George VI, and Elizabeth II. Each of these reigns brought subtle or major modifications in the coin's appearance, including shifts in lettering, portrait styles, and edge details. The penny's material composition also shifted over time. For example, in the early 20th century, the coin was made from bronze, but due to wartime metal shortages, adjustments had to be made which set the stage for further experimentation with cheaper materials in later years. Moving into the modern era, the 2015 1 penny coin belongs to the family of decimal coins, first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971 when Britain transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the decimal system, simplifying transactions and bringing the UK in line with international currency standards. The 1 penny coin under this system maintained a vital role in everyday commerce, and despite its low face value, it remained essential for small purchases, change-making, and even cultural practices such as penny charity collections and superstitions like throwing pennies into fountains for luck. The 2015 penny features a copper-plated steel composition, giving it a distinctive reddish sheen when newly minted, though over time these coins darken through oxidation, and handling the obverse side features the 5th definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by the sculptor Jody Clark. This design replaced the previous portrait by Ian Rank Broadley and marked an important milestone as Clark became the youngest artist to design a definitive coinage portrait of the Queen. The obverse side shows her crowned and facing right with an elegant balance of realism and stylization, reflecting both her age and her enduring status as monarch. On the reverse, we see part of the royal shield, a modern design introduced in 2008 as part of a complete redesign of British coinage. The 1 penny specifically displays the lower left section of the shield, which when combined with other denominations forms the full image. This shield design replaced the earlier depiction of a crowned portcullis, a heraldic gate symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster. The shift to the royal shield design was meant to refresh the visual language of UK coins, making them more cohesive, modern, and appealing to the public, while still grounded in historical symbolism. The minting of the 2015 penny took place at the Royal Mint, a historic institution that has been producing coins for over 1,100 years, starting from the Tower of London and later moving to its state-of-the-art facility in Llantrisant, Wales, where cutting-edge machinery mints millions of coins each year. The minting process involves creating master tools known as dies, which are precision engraved with the coin's designs. These dies then strike blank metal discs under immense pressure to produce sharp, detailed images and text on both sides of the coin before undergoing rigorous quality checks and packaging for distribution to banks and businesses. One fascinating aspect of the 2015 penny is the sheer scale of its production, with hundreds of millions of pennies struck each year to meet the demands of commerce. Yet despite these vast numbers, collectors and numismatists pay close attention to small variations, such as minting errors, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other anomalies that can make a specific Penny, far more valuable than its face value, collectors also value the condition of the coin, graded on a scale from circulated to uncirculated to proof condition, with proof coins being specially struck for collectors using polished dies and planchets to produce mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. Beyond the physical characteristics and production history, the 2015 penny also sits within a cultural and economic context reflecting debates about the usefulness of low-denomination coins in a modern cashless society. Many economists argue that the cost of producing and distributing pennies exceeds their economic utility, leading to calls for their elimination as seen in other countries like Canada, which phased out its penny in 2012. However, public attachment to the penny remains strong in the UK, where it carries nostalgic value and symbolic meaning for many people. The 2015 penny also participates in centuries-old traditions, such as the saying, "Find a penny, pick it up all day long. You'll have good luck." The idea of lucky pennies is deeply rooted in folklore, where coins are seen as talismans for fortune, and protection pennies are also used in wedding customs, where brides place a penny in their shoe for good luck, and in children's games and rhymes that have been passed down through generations. From a global perspective, the penny connects the UK to an international network of coinage practices, reflecting shared histories of colonization, trade, and economic development. British pennies circulated far beyond the British Isles, especially during the height of the British Empire, and many former colonies developed their own local coinage, inspired by British designs. The study of pennies thus opens a window into broader narratives of imperialism, globalization, and cultural exchange. Looking ahead, the future of the penny remains uncertain, with ongoing discussions about the practicality of continuing its production in an increasingly digital economy. Nevertheless, coins like the 2015 penny will endure as historical artifacts, preserving snapshots of a nation's art, politics, and identity. At a specific moment in time, collectors, historians, and enthusiasts will continue to study and treasure these small but meaningful objects, ensuring that their stories live on for generations to come. In conclusion, the 2015 one-penny coin may appear humble in size and value, but its history is anything but small, encompassing centuries of monetary evolution, artistic expression, technological advancement, cultural tradition, and economic debate. By exploring every facet of this coin, we uncover the deep layers of meaning embedded in even the simplest objects, reminding us that history is all around us, waiting to be discovered in the most unexpected places. So join me as we continue this journey through the rich world of rare coins, where every piece tells a story and every story brings us closer to understanding our shared past and present. Thank you for watching, and welcome back to Rare Coins, One Penny 2015 coins. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where we explore the fascinating world of coins from across history and around the globe. And today we are diving into the rich and complex story behind one of the most iconic and sought-after American coins ever minted, the 1909 wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent. And more specifically, we will focus on the inaugural year of this coin, which is filled with historical intrigue, political significance, artistic innovation, and numismatic value that continues to captivate collectors and historians alike. The story of the 1909 wheat penny begins in the early 20th century, at a time when the United States was experiencing rapid industrial growth, urban expansion, and significant social change under the leadership of President Theodore Roosevelt, a leader known not only for his domestic and foreign policies, but also for his deep interest in the aesthetics of American coinage. Roosevelt believed that the coins of the United States should reflect the artistic and cultural dignity of a great nation, and he sought to reform what he saw as bland and uninspired designs on the nation's circulating currency. To carry out this mission, Roosevelt reached out to renowned American sculptor Augustus Saint Gaudens, who had already established himself as a master of classical and Renaissance-inspired sculpture. St. Gaudens began work on new designs for several coins, most notably the $20 double eagle and the $10 eagle, both of which are today considered masterpieces of numismatic art. However, St. Gaudens passed away in 1907 before he could complete his vision for the entire spectrum of American coinage, and that left an opportunity for another artist to step into the spotlight. Enter Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-born sculptor and medalist who had immigrated to the United States in the late 19th century. Brenner had gained Roosevelt's admiration after designing a medallion of the president, and in 1909 he was commissioned to create a new design for the 1-cent coin, a denomination that had featured the Indian head cent since 1859. Roosevelt wanted to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and he believed that a coin bearing Lincoln's likeness would be a fitting tribute to the legacy of the 16th president. Brenner's design for the obverse of the new cent featured a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln inspired by a photograph taken by Matthew Brady and a plaque Brenner had sculpted years earlier that had already gained wide acclaim. The image captured Lincoln's thoughtful expression and conveyed a sense of dignity and solemnity that resonated with the American public. The reverse of the coin featured two stylized stalks of Durham wheat encircling the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the Latin phrase e pluribus unum. Arching above the wheat reverse was simple, elegant, and symbolic of American agriculture and abundance. Released to the public on August 2nd of that year, it marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin, and it was also the first time Lincoln was honored in such a way. The response from the public was immediate and enthusiastic. People lined up at banks and treasury offices to obtain the new cents, and they were quickly hoarded by collectors and everyday citizens alike. The novelty of the design, coupled with the nation's enduring reverence for Lincoln, made the coin an instant sensation. However, the coin also generated controversy in part due to Victor David Brenner's initials, which appeared prominently on the reverse at the bottom center between the wheat stalks. The initials VDB were deemed by some officials and members of the public to be too conspicuous and an inappropriate form of self-promotion for a government-issued coin. This controversy led to the abrupt removal of the initials from the design after only a short run, resulting in two major types of 1909 wheat pennies, the 1909 VDB and the 1909 without VDB. Adding further complexity to the story is the fact that the coin was struck at two mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the San Francisco Mint. The coins struck in Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from San Francisco bear a small S below the date on the obverse. Combined with the presence or absence of the VDB initials, this results in 4 distinct varieties for collectors to pursue: the 1909 no VDB, the 1909 VDB, the 1909 S no VDB, and the legendary 1909 SVDB, which is widely regarded as one of the most important and valuable key dates in the entire Lincoln Cent series. The 1909 SVDB is notable, not just for its scarcity with an original mintage of just 484,000 coins, but also for the fervor it has inspired among generations of coin collectors. It represents the perfect storm of historical significance, artistic controversy, low mintage, and collector demand, making it one of the cornerstones of American numismatics. The coin remains highly sought after in all grades and commands, significant premiums especially in uncirculated condition. Beyond its market value, the 1909 wheat penny stands as a testament to a pivotal moment in American history when art, politics, memory, and monetary design intersected in a meaningful way. It marked the beginning of a new era in U.S. coinage, where historical figures replaced allegorical imagery and where coins became more than just instruments of commerce. They became tools of cultural identity and national heritage. In the decades that followed, the Lincoln wheat cent continued to evolve, with minor design modifications, shifts in composition due to wartime needs, and the eventual replacement of the wheat reverse in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design to commemorate the sesquicentennial of Lincoln's birth. But no matter how the coin changed over the years, the 1909 issues remained singular in their importance and continued to be a foundational piece in both historical study and collecting passion. Each of the four 1909 varieties analyzing their design elements, minting processes, die markers, and known errors. We will also explore the socio-political environment of the early 20th century to understand why Lincoln was chosen as the first historical figure to appear on a U.S. coin and how his image and legacy were carefully crafted by the designers and engravers involved. We will look at Victor David Brenner's life work and motivations and discuss how his immigrant background shaped his artistic vision and commitment to excellence. We will also examine the market trends and auction histories of the 1909 wheat pennies, comparing price fluctuations over time and offering insights into how collectors can identify genuine specimens, spot counterfeits, and determine proper grading standards for authentication and valuation. Whether you are a seasoned collector looking to expand your knowledge or a curious beginner hoping to learn the roots of American coin, collecting this journey into the 1909 wheat penny will provide you with a rich, immersive experience. So get comfortable, get ready, and join me on this 2-hour exploration of one of the most important and fascinating coins in American history as we uncover of the most important and fascinating coins in American history as we uncover the full story behind the 1909 wheat penny, from artistic inspiration to minting legacy, from political symbolism to collector obsession and everything in between. 1997 2-pence coin. We must begin our journey in the early days of the British decimalization process, which officially began on February 15, 1971, prior to decimalization. British currency was based on a system of pounds, shillings, and pence which dated back to medieval times. This system had 20 shillings to the pound and 12 pence to the shilling, making a total of 240 pence to the pound. It was complex and increasingly impractical for modern commerce, which led to calls for reform and simplification in the mid-20th century. With the Decimal Currency Act passed in 1969, the United Kingdom moved toward a new monetary system based on 100 new pence to the pound, and as part of this transition, several new coins were introduced. Among them was the 2-pence coin. First issued in 1971, featuring the reverse design of the badge of the Prince of Wales with a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet above the German motto Ich dien, meaning I serve, designed by Christopher Ironside. This reverse design became one of the most recognizable and enduring elements in the entire decimal coin series. The obverse of the coin naturally featured a portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Machin, whose effigy was used on British coinage from 1968 to 1984. This portrait depicted the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara and was widely admired for its grace and simplicity over time. However, the Queen's portrait was updated to reflect her aging visage with later obverse designs by Raphael Maklouf, Ian Rank Broadley, and Jody Clark, representing different eras of her reign. By the time we reached the year 1997, the 2-pence coin had already been in circulation for 26 years, but it continued to be an important and frequently used denomination in daily transactions. The coin minted in this year retained the familiar reverse design of the Prince of Wales feathers, along with the then-current obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Maklouf, which had been introduced in 1985 and remained until 1997, marking 1997 as the final year. This portrait would appear on the 2-pence coin before being replaced by the Ian Rank Broadley design in 1998. The composition of the 1997 2-pence coin also reflects a transitional moment in British coinage, originally minted in bronze from 1971 to 1991. The 2-pence coin switched to a copper-plated steel composition starting in 1992 due to the rising cost of metals and the need for more cost-effective production. The 1997 issue therefore falls into the modern category of copper-plated steel coins, which have a strong magnetic property due to their steel core, a detail of interest to both casual collectors and those studying the material sciences involved in minting. In terms of minting volume, the 1997 2-pence coin was produced in large quantities, reflecting its everyday use and popularity as a small denomination coin. It was struck at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, South Wales, which has been the primary minting facility for the United Kingdom since the early 1960s. The Royal Mint employs a combination of historical techniques and cutting-edge technology to produce billions of coins each year, and its role in shaping British numismatic history cannot be overstated. Moving beyond the year itself, the story of the 2-pence coin is also a reflection of the wider economic changes in the United Kingdom during the late 20th century throughout the 1990s. Britain was undergoing significant financial and political shifts, including debates over European integration, the future of the monarchy, and the evolving role of the Commonwealth coins, like the 1997 2-pence, serve as tangible everyday markers of these larger narratives, silently circulating through pockets and purses as symbols of national continuity and identity. Collectors often look at the 1997 issue as part of a broader decimal collection, and while it is not rare in the traditional sense, it does offer value to those pursuing year sets or seeking transitional pieces with specific design features. The presence of the Raphael Makhlouf portrait makes this a final year of a particular portrait era, adding additional historical context for collectors and educators alike. The feathered crest on the reverse has also sparked interest among heraldry enthusiasts and royal historians. The badge of the Prince of Wales has been used for centuries and has adorned countless items of currency, regalia, and insignia. Its inclusion on the 2-pence coin was both a nod to tradition and a representation of the monarchy's lasting cultural influence, even in something as common as a coin. We can also examine the broader cultural footprint of the 2-pence coin, including its role in arcade machines, vending units, parking meters, and other small transaction devices, especially during the pre-digital age in the UK. The 2p coin was essential for exact change and served a vital function in the functioning of everyday life for millions of Britons, making it not only a collector's item, but also an artifact of social history. As we explore more about this humble yet iconic coin, we uncover layers of design, symbolism, production, innovation, and societal impact that stretch far beyond its face value, from the artistic choices of engravers like Ironside and Makhlouf to the economic decisions of the Royal Mint and Parliament. The 1997 2-pence coin represents a microcosm of British culture and its evolution over time. In this video, we will continue to explore the coin's role in commerce, changes in its weight size, and alloy its presence in international circulation, how it compares to other denominations. Its function within coin sets its usage in education, coin hunting, and family collecting activities, and the many small details that make it a lasting part of UK numismatic heritage. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, a historian, or someone who just found a shiny 2p in their drawer and got curious, this video is designed to give you everything you ever wanted to know about the 1997 2-pence coin and the many stories it carries with it through time. The Prince of Wales badge itself was adopted from the 100 Years' War and was originally associated with battlefield heraldry. The motto, Ich Dien, was incorporated to demonstrate loyalty and service. It is rendered in German due to the influence of European dynasties, including the House of Hanover, from which modern British monarchs are descended over time. This symbol has come to represent not only the heir to the throne, but also continuity, tradition, and dedication to duty, all values the monarchy seeks to embody, and all captured in the small real estate of the 2p reverse design. This coin also plays a part in public psychology. Many people in the UK are sentimentally attached to the 2-pence coin due to its long presence in everyday life. It is commonly found in change jars, arcade machines, and even in games like tossing 2p coins to win prizes in traditional British seaside amusement arcades known as penny pushers. Its physical presence resonates beyond value and into memory, tradition, and even nostalgia, making it one of the most recognizable and culturally embedded denominations in the UK. Another aspect worth noting is the legal status of the 2p coin, despite debates over eliminating low-value coins to save minting costs. The 2p remains legal tender up to the sum of 20p in any single transaction. This means a person cannot legally insist on paying a full amount entirely in 2p coins if the total exceeds this limit. However, the coin remains valid for use, and the Royal Mint has confirmed that it will continue to mint 2p coins as long as there is public demand for them. We must also consider international influence. Many countries in the Commonwealth and beyond look to the Royal Mint as a benchmark in coin design and production, and British coins, including the 1997 2p, have circulated globally either through travel commerce or as part of export coin contracts. The UK has long been involved in minting coins for other nations, and its designs often reflect a level of craftsmanship that earns admiration from international numismatic circles. In terms of artistic legacy, the 2p coin's consistency has inspired generations of designers, artists, and engravers to consider how symbolism and function coexist on such a small medium. The feathers, the coronet, the ribbon, the motto, and the balance of space and proportion all reflect a careful study of heraldry and symmetry, with designers required to work within tight constraints of dimension, relief, and durability. A coin must not only be beautiful, but also resistant to wear, easy to stack, and reliable in automated machines. As we continue this journey, you will see that coins like the 1997 2p are more than just currency. They are cultural touchstones, miniature monuments, and silent storytellers of a nation's identity. They connect art to economics, history to daily life, monarchy to common people, and tradition to modernity. They are minted for the pocket, but meant for the heart. Stay with us as we explore deeper into real collector stories, regional circulation anomalies, the role of 2p coins in error collections, market forecasts for the next decade, and how the 1997 issue fits into the grand timeline of British decimal currency. First introduced in the United Kingdom in 1982 as part of a broader decimalization process which had begun in 1971 when the UK moved from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a modern decimal system. The introduction of the 20p coin was intended to fill the gap between the 10p and 50p coins, providing a practical denomination that was more convenient for both consumers and businesses, and the decision to mint a seven-sided coin, a heptagon with an equilateral curve, was both functional and symbolic, allowing the coin to be easily distinguishable by touch and difficult to counterfeit. The 2007 20p coin continues the legacy of this denomination, but with its own unique context in terms of design, political landscape, and monetary policy at the time. In 2007, the coin still featured the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklouf, which had been in use since 1998. This portrait depicted the Queen wearing the tiara known as the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland, which was a wedding gift from Queen Mary to Princess Elizabeth in 1947. This iconic image conveyed a sense of continuity, stability, and tradition during a period of rapid change in the UK and the wider world. On the reverse of the 2007 20p coin, we see a classic design by William Gardner featuring a crowned Tudor, rose, a national symbol of England, combining the white rose of York and the red rose of Lancaster. This imagery dates back to the end of the Wars of the Roses in the 15th century, when the two rival houses were united through the marriage of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. The use of this powerful emblem on the coin reflects a deep connection to English heritage and the consolidation of national identity over centuries. The 20 pence coin itself is made of cupronickel, a durable and corrosion-resistant alloy composed of 84% copper and 16% nickel, giving the coin its silvery appearance and long-lasting properties. The coin has a mass of 5 grams, a diameter of 21.4 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.7 millimeters, which remains consistent with earlier issues, ensuring that vending machines and automated systems could recognize and accept the coin without the need for technical recalibration. Economically, the year 2007 marked a period of relative stability in the UK, following more than a decade of economic growth, low unemployment, and high consumer confidence. However, beneath the surface, there were emerging signs of the global financial crisis which would erupt fully in 2008. The 2007 20 pence coin therefore represents a moment just before a major historical turning point, a coin from the final phase of what was often called the boom years under the government of Prime Minister Tony Blair and Chancellor Gordon Brown. In terms of mintage, the Royal Mint produced over 100 million 20 pence coins in 2007, which makes this particular year a common one in terms of circulation. However, collectors still find interest in this coin due to its placement within the timeline of British numismatic history, especially as the very next year in 2008, a significant redesign of the reverse would be introduced as part of the Royal Shield series. This means the 2007 version is one of the last to feature the traditional Tudor rose before the new modernist shield design took its place. Collectors and historians often look at coins like the 2007 20 pence not only as monetary tools but as artifacts that reflect the political mood, cultural priorities, and technological capabilities of their time. For instance, the coin's continued use of the Tudor rose in 2007 shows a commitment to traditional motifs even as the UK was becoming more diverse, globalized, and modern in its outlook and economy. This tension between tradition and progress is one of the many reasons coins are such powerful objects for historical analysis. It is also important to consider the role of the Royal Mint in shaping and maintaining the integrity of UK coinage. The Royal Mint is one of the oldest institutions in the country, dating back over 1,100 years to the reign of Alfred the Great. By 2007, the Mint had moved its operations to Llantrisant in South Wales and had become known for its advanced techniques in coin production, metal analysis, and anti-counterfeiting technology. Each 20 pence coin produced in that year underwent rigorous testing and quality control procedures, ensuring that it would meet the high standards required for circulation. From a global perspective, the 2007 20 pence coin also fits within the larger story of how nations maintain their monetary systems, adapt to new technologies, and respond to shifting economic conditions. For example, during the same period, countries around the world were exploring ways to reduce the cost of coin production, streamline their currency denominations, and combat increasing rates of counterfeiting. The UK's approach with the 20 pence coin, combining design, tradition, and practical usability, reflects a balance that many other nations sought to emulate. In everyday life, the 20 pence coin was and remains a crucial part of transactions in the UK, from paying for parking meters and bus fares to being used in vending machines and corner shops. Its small size, lightweight feel, and unique shape make it one of the most practical and recognizable coins in British coinage. Its wide circulation and longevity mean that most people in the UK have handled a 20 pence coin many times without necessarily considering the rich history and careful design decisions behind it. For numismatists, the 2007 20 pence coin offers a snapshot of the late Elizabethan monetary system and is often collected alongside coins from earlier and later years to show the evolution of design materials and policy. It can be compared with the extremely rare 2008 Mule Error coin, which was accidentally struck without a date on either side due to a mismatched obverse and reverse die pairing. This infamous error caused a stir in the numismatic community and added a layer of attention to the 20 pence denomination, more generally highlighting how even small changes can have big implications in coin production. To fully appreciate the 2007 20-pence coin, we must also understand the broader societal context of the time Britain in 2007 was experiencing technological transformation, the rise of social media, digital banking, and contactless payments, all of which would gradually begin to reshape the role of physical currency in daily life. Despite these shifts, the Royal Mint continued to produce millions of physical coins each year, reflecting a transitional period between the dominance of cash and the increasing presence of digital money. As we continue through this video, we will explore more details about the design process of the coin, how artists like William Gardner approached national symbolism in their work, and how the feedback process between the mint government and the public shaped the final look of the currency. We will also dive into the historical roots of the Tudor rose and its importance in English heraldry, how it became a unifying symbol after Civil War, and how its imagery has been used in various forms of British art, architecture, and currency for centuries. We will then examine how coins like the 20-pence piece were distributed into circulation, how banks, businesses, and cash handling facilities moved and stored these coins, and what logistical systems were in place to ensure a smooth supply across the nation. We will discuss how the Royal Mint determines how many coins to produce each year, what factors influence mintage levels, and how economic indicators such as inflation, interest rates, and consumer behavior play a role in shaping those decisions. By tracing the journey of a single 20-pence coin from its design conception through production, minting, distribution, and use in everyday transactions, we will uncover not just the history of a coin, but the story of a nation, its culture, its values, its priorities, and its vision for the future. And that is what makes coin collecting so powerful and fascinating. Every coin is a time capsule, a miniature piece of history that fits in the palm of your hand and carries with it the echoes of centuries of change and continuity. So stay tuned as we now take an even deeper dive into the numismatic artistry, historical significance, and cultural heritage of the 2007 20-pence coin, exploring every angle from the design table to the pocket, from the Royal Mint to the coin collector's album, and from the symbolic to the practical, in a story that spans generations and offers insight into what makes British coinage so enduring and so unique. It is about a monumental shift in how our nation reflects its history through currency and pays tribute to those whose voices have shaped the soul of America. To understand the profound importance of the 2022 Maya Angelou quarter, we first need to explore who Maya Angelou was, what she stood for, and why her inclusion on a circulating coin represents more than just an artistic choice. Born Marguerite Annie Johnson, on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri, Maya Angelou rose from a traumatic childhood marked by hardship, displacement, and silence to become one of the most respected and influential voices in American literature and culture. Her autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, published in 1969, broke new ground in the literary world by depicting the Black female experience in a brutally honest and poetic voice. The book received international acclaim and is still widely read today as a seminal work of memoir and autobiography. Throughout her life, Maya Angelou was much more than an author. She was a poet, a dancer, a singer, an actress, a director, and most notably an activist working alongside figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X in the struggle for civil rights. Her poems, including Still I Rise, Phenomenal Woman, and On the Pulse of Morning, the latter of which she recited at President Bill Clinton's 1993 inauguration, became emblems of strength, dignity, and the power of the human spirit. Her voice resonated across generations, echoing the dreams of freedom, justice, and unity in the face of oppression and inequality. Her cultural impact made Maya Angelou a national treasure, and in 2011 she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States, by President Barack Obama. Recognizing her through coinage marks an evolution in the symbolic language of American currency, where for centuries only men, mostly presidents and founding fathers, have been featured. The American Women Quarters program, launched by the United States Mint in 2022, seeks to rectify that imbalance by honoring women from diverse backgrounds who have made significant contributions to American society, and Maya Angelou was chosen as the first in this historic series. The Maya Angelou Quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark, and was released into circulation in early 2022. The coin features a striking reverse design created by artist Emily Damstra and sculpted by Craig Campbell, which shows Maya Angelou with her arms uplifted in a pose evoking both freedom and lyrical expression. Behind her, a bird in flight and rays of the sun emerge, symbolizing her dynamic poetry and the hope she gave to millions. The image is inspired directly by the imagery in her autobiographical work and her poetic themes, especially the metaphor of the caged bird and the call for liberation and resilience in the face of adversity. Damstra and sculpted by Craig Campbell, which shows Maya Angelou with her arms uplifted in a pose evoking both freedom and lyrical expression. Behind her, a bird in flight and rays of the sun emerge, symbolizing her dynamic poetry and the hope she gave to millions. The image is inspired directly by the imagery in her autobiographical work and her poetic themes, especially the metaphor of the caged bird and the call for liberation and resilience in the face of adversity. The obverse of the coin features a new depiction of George Washington based on the original 1932 Laura Garden Fraser design that was initially recommended for the Washington Quarter, but not used until now. This marks a significant moment in American numismatic history, as it not only honors Maya Angelou, but also resurrects and finally brings to the forefront the work of a talented female sculptor from the early 20th century whose vision was previously sidelined. The pairing of Fraser's Washington with Damstra's Angelou creates a powerful narrative about gender representation in American history and art. Delving into the production of the coin, the Philadelphia Mint utilized modern minting technology to ensure clarity and precision in each strike. The coins are composed of cupro nickel-clad copper and were issued for general circulation. Collector bags, rolls, and sets. The 2022 P. Maya Angelou quarters have already become a favorite among both casual collectors and seasoned numismatists due to their cultural significance, artistic beauty, and place in a groundbreaking series. Collectors have noted the importance of obtaining high-quality specimens, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC, where mint state or proof versions carry additional value in the market. Beyond the physical characteristics of the coin lies its educational and inspirational value. In classrooms across the country, educators use the coin as a teaching tool to introduce students to Maya Angelou's work and discuss broader topics like civil rights literature and the evolving role of women in American public life. The coin thus serves not only as a medium of exchange, but as a living artifact, a portable tribute to progress, and a daily reminder of the voices that continue to uplift and empower. The coin's release was celebrated in multiple states with local events public. Discussions and media coverage highlighting Maya Angelou's extraordinary life and the symbolism behind her depiction on the quarter, collectors began trading rolls of the coin on auction platforms and forums, while the U.S. Mint reported a surge in demand, reflecting the public's strong interest in coins that carry social and historical meaning. In the broader context, the American Women Quarters program includes other notable figures such as astronaut Sally Ride, Cherokee Nation leader Wilma Mankiller, suffragist Nina Otero Warren, and Chinese-American film star Anna May Wong, making Maya Angelou the trailblazer and standard-bearer for the entire series. Examining the coin's artistic composition, Emily Damstra deliberately chose iconography that reflects Maya Angelou's unique identity and universal appeal. The bird in flight represents the imagery of freedom that so often appeared in Angelou's writing. The rays of light symbolize spiritual awakening, creativity, and the dawn of a new cultural consciousness. The stylized pose of Angelou herself conveys openness, strength, and a connection to the divine and to the community, each element carefully thought through to resonate with both those familiar with her legacy and those discovering her for the first time. From a broader historical perspective, the Maya Angelou Quarter marks an inflection point in the narrative of American coinage. It transitions the national minting tradition from a predominantly masculine and Eurocentric legacy toward one that is more inclusive, reflective, and representative of the true diversity of American achievement. For decades, numismatics has been seen as a technical and niche hobby, yet coins like this one bridge that world with mainstream cultural relevance, turning a pocket-sized object into a platform for storytelling, justice, and remembrance. Looking at its place in the collector's market, early responses suggest that the 2022 Maya Angelou Quarter will remain an important item for years to come, not just for its mintage figures, but for its symbolism and cultural weight. As the first issue in a multi-year program, this coin sets the tone and builds a foundation for more inclusive commemorations in the years ahead, and as subsequent quarters are released, Maya Angelou's coin will continue to be viewed as the cornerstone of a new era in American numismatics. As we wrap up this extended dive into the story of the 2022 P. Maya Angelou Quarter, it becomes clear that what we hold in our hand is not just metal or legal tender, but a celebration of poetry, perseverance, and progress. This coin immortalizes Maya Angelou's indomitable spirit and inspires us all to rise above limitations, speak our truths, and embrace the beauty of diversity in all its forms. Whether you are a coin collector, a history enthusiast, a student, literature, or someone simply curious about the changing face of American currency, this coin offers a profound and lasting message, and it is my hope that by learning its story, you are encouraged to look deeper into the people, places, and events that shape our world. Thank you for joining me again here on the channel, and if you found value in this exploration, please like, subscribe, and share this video so others can discover the legacy of Maya Angelou and the powerful significance behind the coin that bears her image. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep honoring the stories that matter.